Under the serene canopy of a sprawling forest in Norway lived Astrid, a woman whose life was defined by her tireless commitment to others. Known as the guiding light in her small community, she was the one people turned to in times of need, the one who always had a solution, and the one who would sacrifice her own comfort for the well-being of others. But behind her ever-present smile and calm demeanor, Astrid carried a weight she could no longer ignore. The burden of never allowing herself to rest, to feel, or to just be. Astrid's life was a symphony of responsibilities, caring for her aging parents, mentoring local youth, organizing community events, and running a small shop in the village. Her days were a blur of activity, leaving no time for herself. Despite the admiration of those around her, she often felt a deep sense of emptiness, a yearning she couldn't quite articulate. One winter morning, as the first snow blanketed the landscape, Astrid found herself wandering into the forest, seeking solace. She stumbled upon a small, frozen stream and paused, captivated by the way the sunlight reflected off the ice. In that moment of stillness, she heard something she hadn't heard in years, her own inner voice. It was faint at first, a mere whisper beneath the chatter of her obligations. But as she stood there, the voice grew louder, saying, "When will you give yourself permission to rest?" Over the coming weeks, Astrid began a quiet rebellion against her own expectations. She started small, saying no to an extra responsibility, carving out moments in the day to read by the fire, taking solitary walks where she allowed herself to dream. These small acts of self-compassion were initially met with guilt and discomfort, but over time, they began to feel like liberation. Astrid realized that her worth wasn't tied to her productivity or the approval of others. She learned that rest wasn't indulgence, but necessity, and that self-care was not selfish, but vital. By giving herself space to breathe, she found she could be more present and authentic in her interactions with others. Her transformation inspired those around her to reflect on their own lives. The once invisible burden of the mental and emotional load shared by so many in her village began to surface, and her story became a catalyst for change. Astrid's journey illuminated a profound truth. Sometimes, the greatest gift we can offer to others is to first take care of ourselves. Let Astrid's story remind you of the power of pausing. What weights do you carry that you can set down? What would happen if you allowed yourself the grace to rest? Share your thoughts with us in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Soul by Night. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok for more stories that inspire and resonate. Let's continue exploring these transformative journeys together.